First off, I want to say Happy Father's Day. And if you are a father or stepfather, if you'd be willing to stand up so that we can acknowledge you and appreciate you. You guys can be seated. And the reason I include stepfathers in there is because in my course of experience being a stepfather, we are in many ways the disposable parent. It's important for the kids to be connected with mom. But here's this other guy who's just a distraction from mom. And that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So my stepbaby is 39 now, and she has gotten to the point where she appreciates a lot of the stuff that happened when she was being parented, starting from when she was 7 or 10 years old. Along the way, when she was a teenager, wasn't necessarily so appreciative. nor would I say was she pliant. The talk today, actually what it says in the program is something about the Word, and in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and then it went into a description of other words, like the chit-chat around the water cooler. But back in Scripture, it's talking about that original intentional Word. That word of creation, that word of intention, that word of taking the opportunity to start with what is and move into what's coming next and what's new. Now, it's Father's Day, so we can tie that creative word together with Mother's Day. We talk about nurturing and bringing something along and caring for it and allowing it to grow. And on Father's Day, we have that complementary energy of setting an intention, of taking a stand, of knowing that something new is coming into being and shepherding that into our experience. And whether we're men or women, whether we're fathers or not, we all are involved in that creative process. We say at the beginning of the celebration every week, there's one creative power, one intelligence, one love that creates everything, and including us. And we're using that same power, love, intelligence to create our lives. So Reverend Dave pointed out some number of weeks ago that everybody is creative, and the usual response from people is, "Yeah, but you have a creative job, so you're an artist, or you're a writer, or you're whatever." Like there are other people who are not creative. Yeah, it's wonderful that there are artists, and we are all creative. We are all creating something new all the time. And because of the philosophy that we're involved in, we're aware that we're doing it. The only difference between the people who are in this room and following this new thought philosophy and other people is that we know that we're doing it. We didn't make it up. Love to take credit for making it up. We didn't make it up. New thought is not about anything new. New thought is about all of these great ideas that have always existed,
Yes.
and understanding that we can use those same principles, those processes, those techniques to bring about something new in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The new thought is about setting a new intention now to allow that power that's always been to show up for us in a new way. So there's the Word. And we skip right over the idea of words into what words we're using and what words mean. But if you think for just a second, what is a word? A word is some sound that we're able to vocalize that carries a meaning. And the powerful words, the meanings are intentions. But at their core, the words are sounds. That's the part that we skip over all the time. So I'm standing here speaking, and you're understanding the ideas behind the sounds that I'm making. If I were standing here going, it would be a little bit entertaining, but I wouldn't be conveying any meaning. You'd be hearing the sound without having the meaning attached.
We're speaking another language.
Could be. I might be speaking another language. And all languages, it turns out, have some sounds in common where they use the same sound. I mean, not even they, where we use the same sound in different languages to mean the same thing. The example that we're going to use today is the sound ah. Has anybody ever said ah? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to all say ah together. We're going to take a deep breath in. Ah. Okay, do it one more time and be emphatic about it. Ready? Deep breath in. Ah. It turns out that sound of ah is the sound of creation. Don't believe me. Do not believe what I'm telling you. Reverend Bill said, ah is the sound of creation. Why? I don't know, because Reverend Bill said it. No, don't do that. That's not what we do. That's why we're the 9th candle over there. But let's talk about the other candles, because we light these 9 candles every week. And each one of those candles uses that same ah sound to talk about the creator or the creative force. The first candle is the Tao. The Tao. Anchored right there. The second candle, the shamanic traditions, shaman. Okay, you want an example? How about Ram? Yeah. Third candle? Cheat sheet, because I... Hinduism. Krishna. Krishna. The same sound again. Judaism. Yahweh. The creative force, the creative power, that God that we are talking about is different in all of these traditions, and it's always the same. Buddha. In Christianity. God. Islam's really easy. Allah. Got a twofer. In Baha'i. Baha'u'llah. We're all different. We're all distinct and individual. And right now, candle number 7 is arguing with some of the other candles on the world stage. Okay. In one sense, that matters, and in another sense, it doesn't matter, because we are all connected. The God in me sees the God in you. Or, as they say in Sanskrit, Namaste. One more time, let's all say ah together. Deep breath in. Ah. The sound of creation. You are a creative energy, a creative force right now and always. It's Father's Day. That moment of sexual release, sometimes accompanied by that same ah sound, which can then lead to a father experience. Or maybe it's not a procreative experience, maybe it's just a recreative experience. You like that, okay? A little dance with the words there.
Recreation.
There you go. Recreation, which is part of creation. That ah sound connects so many different things together. We get to the end of the prayer and we say, Amen. I take this intention and I put it into being. I put it into that law. And I let it unfold and I let it be. In another tradition, instead of Amen, we say, Ashe. You don't have to look very far. The words are important. The words are tremendously important. My first counselor, Karen, I was having some argument with her. I said, well, that's just semantics. And she's a completely no-nonsense lady. She says, oh, you mean it's just words? And so it sounded like she was agreeing with me. I said, yeah. She says, uh-huh. But honey, words is all we got. When I want to take an idea that's in my mind and transplant it into somebody else's mind, the way that I do that is with words. Now, I can also do that with actions. There are people who don't speak the same language, and simply by exchanging those actions, by participating together, we can communicate. But by and large, the way we communicate is with words. So the invitation for us now is to step beyond the words into the sounds. To know what the intention is behind the sound that's within the word, that contains our intention, so that we can bring something new and wonderful into being. Let's do that ah again. Deep breath in. Ah. The sound of ah actually connects from our root chakra up to the third eye, through our creative centers. And it connects through there and allows that energy to flow through us and then out into our experience. And you don't have to believe me. It may or may not do that, but the invitation is for you to see what that feels like for yourself. There's a meditation I did for quite some time. It was on a recording that Wayne Dyer did. And through the recording, I was just listening to it a little bit yesterday. He keeps on talking about the tape. And I'm thinking about how long it's been since we were thinking about tapes. And it's all about sitting quietly, and instead of an Om meditation, which is a connection with the oneness, Om, where we connect ourselves with that oneness and with that infinite. The Ah meditation is an active, manifesting, creative meditation, where we let ourselves set an intention and allow it to flow up through us and out into the world. Ah. So try it. Try it and see what happens. Set an intention for something positive and life-affirming to come into your life or the life of somebody else. Set an intention and then say ah out loud. A handful of times. Deep breath in, say ah. Deep breath in, say ah. Just keep yourself on that intention. You can do a lot of intentions. Each ah can be for something different, or they can all be for the same one. It's powerful not because I say it's powerful. It's not powerful because somebody somewhere along the line gave it mystical powers. It's powerful because it's always been powerful, and a lot of people, 8 candles worth, have noticed it. And there's more. So the invitation is, let's give it a try. Let's take that one for a spin and see if it actually creates something new in my life. Because we are all creative. Remember me saying that? You are creative. Raise your hand if you think you're creative. Okay, thank you. You guys are good students. I really like that. So then the question becomes, well, what do I want to create? Well, quite frankly, that's none of my business. I know what I want you to have. I want you to have peace. I want you to have health and vitality. I want you to have prosperity. I want you to have love in your life. I want you to feel creative. I want you to feel connected to your spiritual truth. And if you want the same thing, then cool, we're all on board. And if you also want a particular kind of car, or something showing up in your life, or someone going away, or whatever it happens to be, that's on you. I can help with the specifics if necessary. But again, it's the fact that you are connected with that creative power that makes it happen. Is there some mystery for how you connect with that creative power? No. We get back to the beginning, what we said, and we say it all the time. There's one power, and it is each of us, and it is in each of us, and we are always using it all the time. That's not like taking a fish out of the water. That's like taking the water out of the water. You're it. You are that creative power. You are that divine essence, showing up in a way that is specifically and particularly you. But you are that God essence, always. So when you want to connect with it, and I talk to people a lot who want to connect with that power. Sometimes I myself want to connect with that power. I need to remember that I'm not connecting with the power. I'm not helping them connect with the power. I'm helping them remember that we're already connected to the power. The connection never goes away. The awareness of the connection can go away. And what's a really wonderful way of reminding ourselves of that connection? Let's say ah together. Deep breath in. Ah. That next intention, that next new experience could be just a breath away. Set the intention for what you want to have in your life next, and all the good is on its way to you. So I started out by saying that by inviting all of the fathers to stand. And now what I'd like is anybody who has ever fathered a good idea, had an intention of something that you wanted to birth in the world and bring into experience, or are ready to do that now, I invite you to stand up. Yeah. Happy Father's Day.